Are you there, little Miss Piggy? I've been reading all morning and my shoulders are so sore you wouldn't believe. Get over here and give me a shoulder massage immediately. Dana, what the hell? My name's Tegan, not little Miss Piggy. Please stop calling me that. How many times do I have to say it? I can't help it, dear. You're short and stumpy and as wide as a barn door. What else am I supposed to call you? Little Miss Piggy suits you way more than Tegan. Just because I'm short doesn't mean you have any right to call me that. It's offensive. Please, just give it a rest already. You want me to give this a rest? Believe me, dear, this is me being kind. I can stop calling you it if you'd like, but I can't promise you'll like whatever comes next anymore. This is you being kind? How exactly did you work that one out? Actually, I'm being incredibly kind when you think about it. I only call you it when there's no one else around, do I not? I thought you might get embarrassed if other people heard. So I decided to keep it hush-hush out of the goodness of my heart. See, if that's not kindness, I don't know what is. That's not really what I was getting at. The fact you call me Little Miss Piggy in the first place alone is horrible and mean-spirited enough. I'll ask you again, please stop. My God, why do you have to be so selfish? It's your own fault for being a ham beast. If you've got time to whine at me, then you've got time to go on a diet and stop being a greasy lard ball. You know I'm right, don't you? Don't you, little Miss Piggy? Stop calling me all this crap. You have no right to speak to me this way, Dana. Just because I married your son doesn't mean you get to abuse me. Your words, they hurt, you know. I need you to stop. Fine, whatever, princess. I wouldn't want to hurt your precious feelings. What a big whining crybaby. Anyway, where's my shoulder massage? Hurry up and get over here. You live next door, for crying out loud. What's taking you so long? Sorry, I'm out shopping right now. It's gonna take me a while. Shopping? Who on earth do you think you are going out at a time like this? Do you have any idea how stiff my shoulders are? What was the point in moving in next door to you if you're not even going to be around to give me massages on demand? You're the most useless person I've ever had the displeasure of meeting. I'm sorry. I'll let you off the hook just this once. But only if you come over the moment you get back and give me the most luxurious 3-hour massage ever received by anyone in the history of the human race. Don't forget your daily chores at my house still aren't done. The laundry's piling up, the trash needs taking out, and my kitchen needs scrubbing. Yes, I haven't forgotten. I'll be over as soon as I get back from shopping. If only your actual performance inspired as much confidence as your messages. You obviously aren't going to be able to move as quickly as us normal human beings, being as immense and blubbery as you are. I wish you'd start scheduling your days with that in mind. Or at least making more of an effort. Who knows, maybe if you jog back, you'll lose a few pounds. Don't tire yourself out too much for the housework, though. You've been calling me fat for ages now. But the thing is, you don't seem to realize I lost weight. Wow, really? Are you being serious? Because it doesn't look like it to me. Oh, I get it. You're probably just trying to defend your wounded pride. It's okay, dear. I've come to terms with your immense gelatinous form. You should be more accepting towards yourself, dear. Own your blubber. I'm not trying to defend anything. I genuinely lost weight.
I've been dieting really hard for a while now. I'm not as slim as I was on our wedding day, but I'm getting there. This is more like the body I had when I was young. Even Henry said I started reminding him of the old me.
Oh dear, don't tell me you believed him. I'm creasing up here. You know how kind he is. He's obviously trying to make you feel better. That boy's too soft for his own good sometimes. I'm astonished you're too much of a dimwit to realize he's not being sincere.
Even Kayla said so.
Do you really think she'd call her own mom a big fat pig? Besides, she's in high school now. She's just trying to avoid hurting your feelings. There's nothing else for it, dear. I'll have to set you straight on your delusions, because it would appear you're hopelessly incapable of looking at yourself objectively.
You really think so?
Duh, obviously. Thank God I found out before things got out of hand. Things could have gotten real messy.
Messy? How?
Henry and Kayla being too considerate of your feelings could have led to your weight spiraling out of control. They think they're being kind, but all it does is enable your self-destructive behavior. They're too kind to tell the truth, which begs the question, is it really kindness at all? If the result is you swelling up to such a mammoth proportion that you end up diabetic, is it really kindness? Long story short, you absolutely must not believe a word they say.
You really think so?
I don't think so. I know so. One thing you're always guaranteed with me, dear, is honesty, and the honest truth is you're fat. I speak my mind, and as much as I understand it might sting sometimes, it's for your own good. It's such a shame I have to be twice as hard on you to undo their well-meaning sabotage. Perhaps if they weren't constantly walking on eggshells around you, things wouldn't be this way. It's time you started being more conscious of your weight, dear. Oopsie, that got a bit long-winded. Let me make it real simple for you. Hit the gym, fat ass. You can do it, little Miss Piggy. I believe in you.
Dana, are you still awake? I need to speak to you about this weekend.
Did you really have to message me at this time? I just got in bed. What the hell do you want?
I'm sorry to message you so late, but me and Kayla decided to go out together this Saturday, which means I'm not going to be able to do my chores at your house. You think you can get by without me for one day? I figured it'd be best to let you know as early as possible.
Who do you think you are? You will fulfill your housework duties as my daughter-in-law.
Look, I'm sorry, but like I said, me and Kayla are gonna be out all day.
So what?
No, not so what. It's patently obvious what I meant. We're gonna be out all day, which means I can't do your housework. So I'm sorry, but please figure out a way to get it done by yourself.
Good grief. Whatever am I going to do with you? I just let out the biggest sigh. This is why you'll always be a fat ass.
What exactly is that supposed to mean? How does this have anything to do with my weight?
It has everything to do with your weight. Use your brain for once, you blithering simpleton. Why do you think you tidy my house every day? You don't actually think it's because I'm incapable of doing housework myself, do you? Or because I want an easy life?
Wait, it isn't?
Of course it isn't! Good God, you seriously have no idea. You're even more dense than I thought. I'm so disappointed in you, little Miss Piggy.
I'm sorry.
Let me make this clear. I'm not making you do my housework. I'm granting you the privilege of doing my housework. Do you understand the difference?
Sorry. I don't understand. To tell you the truth, I don't feel privileged at all. Nope, I'm drawing blanks.
How can you be this much of a moron? It looks like it's not just your weight that's a disaster, little Miss Piggy. You also have bacon for brains. Actually, I take that back. They say pigs are quite intelligent. I don't want to insult them by comparing them to you.
I'm sorry, Dana. I'm just not getting it. Would you mind explaining what you mean?
I'm trying to help you diet.
Diet? I thought we were talking about housework. Did the subject change without me noticing?
No, it did not. Your stupidity never ceases to amaze me. Think about it. What do you do when you do housework? You move your body.
Yeah, I guess it'd be hard to do without moving.
Now, if you do two people's share of the housework, you'll slim down proportionately. Think of all the calories burned. That's why I let you tidy my house. Do you understand why you're so privileged now?
Oh, I see. I finally get it. You know, Dana, you're surprisingly thoughtful. To think you'd go out of your way to let me tidy your whole house every day. Thanks so much. I can't tell you how lucky I feel.
Thank God for that. You finally get it. Now that that's out of the way, I'll hear nothing more of this no housework on Saturday nonsense. Remember, I'm only doing this for you, dear.
Fine, understood. I'll do it. But even though I'm gonna do it, it's gonna be when I get home from my day out with Kayla. It'd be awkward for me to come home during the day. And we're leaving first thing in the morning, so I'll have to do it at night when I get back. That work for you?
Are you sure you'll be able to do that? Handbeasts like you tire very easily, you know. I'm worried you won't have enough energy if you leave it too late.
Yep, it's fine. Don't worry about that. Not a problem at all.
If you're sure, I suppose it's fine by me. I hope you understand there'll be consequences if it doesn't get done. You do not want to get on my bad side, dear. Do I make myself clear?
Jeez, I get it, Dana. I just said I'll do it, same as always. It'll just be a little later is all.
I'm being very kind by catering to your selfishness here. It's only natural I'd want to make doubly sure you're true to your word. I'm not normally one to compromise, so you should feel very lucky. Do not disappoint me. What the hell's going on? Do you know what time it is? What's all the racket? It's 7 a.m. Keep it down, little Miss Piggy. Don't get overexcited just because you're going out with Kayla for the day. You're heavier than most people, so you should tread more carefully when you walk. Start being more considerate towards your neighbor.
Little Miss Piggy? Who the hell do you think you are? Don't you dare speak to my mom like that.
Aw, your mom? What are you talking about? Is this Tegan I'm speaking to?
No, it's Kayla, your granddaughter.
This can't be right. It says Tegan on my screen. Why would you be replying to me? Where is she?
In the shower? Me and her are going out together today.
Did you steal your mother's phone? You know you're not supposed to touch her things, young lady. This is simply not an acceptable way to behave. She might be your mother, but you should still respect her boundaries.
Right back at you, psycho. I just looked through your message history. I know how you've been treating my mom behind our backs now. You're like a different person when me and my dad aren't around. You think you can do and say whatever you like to her because you know she won't say anything back, don't you? Well, you're wrong.
Kayla, who do you think you're speaking to, young lady? I'm your grandmother. How dare you call me a psycho? The only one crossing any lines here is you, and mark my words, there will be hell to pay for this. Do you seriously think this is any way to speak to me?
Oh, no, you don't. You're not turning this back on me just because I'm calling you out for being horrible to my mom. You're as nice as pie to her when me and my dad are around, but when it's just you two, all you do is make fun of her. Little Miss Piggy, seriously? Are you 12 years old? You make me sick. You're gross, Grandma.
Do not call your grandmother gross. Anyway, you're making a fundamental misunderstanding here. The reason I call your mother Little Miss Piggy isn't because I hate her.
Oh, really? Then why do you?
It's my pet name for her. Just a harmless bit of fun, that's all.
Pet name? Like a nickname?
Exactly. We do get along so well that we have nicknames for each other. Do you understand now, dear? So, Kayla, please. I need you to stop worrying about her. I'm sure you have enough on your plate with school and your friends to be wasting energy thinking about your problems your mother doesn't even have. You don't need to worry one bit. Things have never been better between us.
Huh? Do you really mean that? You really think this is gonna fly? Like I said, I saw your entire chat history. Anyone with a brain could figure out what you've been doing to her. There were me and Dad thinking everything was fine and our family was pretty much normal. And there she was, gritting her teeth and tolerating you in silence for God knows how long.
Don't be so dramatic. She wasn't tolerating anything. Tegan has a fantastic sense of humor. She knows it all, it's just jokes. I never had you down as this much of a worrier.
If you genuinely think what you're doing to my mom is okay, then you need professional help. Why couldn't I just have a normal grandma?
Kayla, please stop saying such hurtful things. If you insist on pushing me like this, I won't be held responsible for what happens. Everyone's temper has its limits, dear, and my lid's about to get ready to burst.
You're gonna get mad? I'm the one who's pissed off with you. Stop trying to twist everything and own up to what you've done. Anyway, are you completely lacking in self-awareness? How about you take a look in the damn mirror before calling someone else Little Miss Piggy? You force her to clean your house every day under the pretense of exercise. But if she's Little Miss Piggy, then you're the mama pig.
Kayla, how dare you? You do not speak to your grandmother like that. You've gone and done it now, you disrespectful little torag. I will not be held responsible for the hell that's about to be unleashed on you. I'll be telling your parents about this.
Do what you want. But I have a better idea. Get lost and leave us all alone. Why would any one of us want to have anything to do with a vicious, foul-mouthed pig like you?
Little Miss Piggy, are you there? I know you read my messages. Did you and my son have a chat?
I'm really sorry about today, Dana. I had no idea Kayla had my phone while I was in the shower. She should have never sent you all those horrible messages. She deleted the chat history. So I would have never noticed if you didn't show me yourself.
What? Kayla did that? I had no idea. She's even more calculating than I thought. Good grief. Listen, dear. I don't like the thought of saying this about my own flesh and blood, but it has to be said. What she did was cowardly and shameful. I'm embarrassed to call her my granddaughter.
Cowardly and shameful?
Don't you agree? Not only was she abhorrently disrespectful to her own grandmother, but she tried to hide all traces of it. She clearly knew what she was doing wrong.
I guess I understand why you feel that way. But I don't think she was trying to hide what she did. I think she was trying to hide the horrible things you said about me so I didn't get hurt.
I see you've already fallen for her devious excuses. How disappointing. Please, just think about the gravity of what she said to me for a moment. Why does she think it's acceptable to speak to her own grandmother like that? Did you ever teach her to respect her elders? If you'd have done your job as her mother and raised her properly, she never would have turned out like this, little Miss Piggy. Apologize.
Sorry.
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 Sorry. Apologizing is easy. Anyone can do it. But all I seem to hear from you these days is apologies. Doesn't that alone tell you there's something seriously wrong here? You need to prove your alleged remorse with action and do something to make this right. It would appear you're not just a pig on the outside, bacon for brains. It's obvious what went wrong with Kayla. She inherited your moron genes.
My daughter is not a moron. In fact, she couldn't be further from it. She's a very intelligent young lady, and the only reason she said the things she said to you is because she loves me and wanted to protect me. So you need to stop insulting her right now. To tell you the truth, the way you're acting couldn't make me more uncomfortable.
Excuse me? Little Miss Piggy, you do know who you're speaking to, don't you?
Yes, of course I do. That's exactly why I'm saying these things to you, and I have no intention of changing or taking any of it back.
I'm your mother-in-law, young lady. You can't actually think this is an acceptable way to speak to me. You'll never get away with this if my son finds out. Is this really a path you want to go down? I suggest you think very carefully.
Even if Henry did have a problem with it, Kayla's still my daughter, and it's my job as her mother to protect her. She's my #1 priority. That wouldn't change even if it meant divorcing him, and certainly not for the likes of you.
Divorce? Well done, dear. You just opened up Pandora's box. Where did this sudden rush of confidence come from? Who the hell do you think you are, speaking to me like that?
Who do you think I am? I'm Kayla's mother. Whether you call me Little Miss Piggy, a moron, or anything else, I literally could not care less. If putting up with your petty bullshit is what it takes to maintain a semblance of a relationship with you as my mother-in-law and avoid any drama, then so be it. But it's a different story when it comes to my daughter. I don't care if you're my mother-in-law or the goddamn president. No one insults my daughter.
How noble. There's one little problem with this self-righteous bluster of yours. She was the one who insulted me. Don't you think it's a little rich to paint her as the victim? Have you no shame?
You know what? I'll admit it. I do think she crossed the line with how she spoke to you, and I certainly won't be praising her for her choice of words. But I'm not going to condemn her either. She was angry and upset, and she said those things to protect me. She spoke up for me because she couldn't bear to see me insulted, and she clearly couldn't contain her anger when she looked through our chat logs and found out you'd been treating me like dirt behind her back. So did I think what she did was shameful? No, not one bit. Actually, I'm very proud of her.
Forget it. This conversation is pointless. It's my own fault, really. What did I expect trying to get any sense out of a pig? Go roll around in the mud and eat your pig feed. I'm done wasting my time on you. Hand the phone over to my son this instant. I'm going to tell him everything you and your horrible daughter have been doing to me, and I'll see to it that he divorces you.
Is that so? That's a shame. I tell you what, forget about it over message. Me and him will come over as soon as he gets off work, and we can have this out in person. And by that, I mean our final goodbyes. We're cutting you out of our lives, for good.
Huh? What are you talking about? Cutting me out of your lives? What does that mean?
It means after today, me and my family never want to see or hear from you again. And this should go without saying, but my family obviously includes Henry. Prepare to say your final goodbyes.
No, hold your horses, young lady. Why would my own son cut me out of his life? That's crazy talk. You've got this backwards. You're the one getting cut out of our lives. I told you I'll see to it that he divorces you. Is this some kind of weird coping mechanism of yours? As if my Henry would ever do that.
Let's see, shall we? You might be surprised to hear that it wasn't me who made this decision. I'm just the messenger. This is what Henry wants.
What? Henry wants? What do you mean? He's still at work, isn't he? You could only have spoken to him about the Kayla problem over messages and phone calls today. As if he'd make such an important decision over the phone.
Right, we've been messaging all day. It really didn't take him long to make his mind. He asked me to send you our chat logs when he heard what was going on, which I did. I'll be sending him this conversation soon, too.
What? No way. You're lying.
Nope, God's honest truth. He decided you had to go as soon as he saw the chat logs, to quote him. A mother who insults my wife and daughter is no mother of mine. We're done with her. He said we're better off without you in our lives.
What about this house? We had these houses built together so I could live next door to you.
We haven't really thought about it yet, to be honest. We'd be fine with selling it, though. Or maybe we could rent it out to someone else. Actually, I think we could use the extra income with how the economy is. The benefits of getting rid of you just keep piling up. That said, it's still early days. We'll have to think on it some more, so make sure you stew in anxious despair about the uncertainty of your future while we do, okay? You will still have to leave ASAP, though. You're nothing but a stranger now, after all.
Don't talk nonsense. I'd be between a rock and a hard place if you kicked me out. I have nowhere to go. I'd literally be on the streets or in some kind of hostel at best. This is too much shock for me to take in one go. Are you trying to give me a heart attack? You can't make my son disown me and kick me out of my house at the same time. I have no idea what I'd do if you went through with this.
Not what you would do, Dana. What you will do. This isn't hypothetical. You're leaving. What you do next isn't our problem.
No, please. Don't say such awful things. You should be thinking of ways to help me. I thought we had a special bond. Please. Surely there must be some way I don't have to end up totally screwed here.
Maybe there is, but it's not our problem. And a special bond? Don't be ridiculous. You're gonna have to figure this one out on your own. What help could I possibly be? I'm just a stupid little piggy. Mommy Pig, being infinitely older and wiser than me, shouldn't have any issues coming up with a master plan to get herself out of this desperate mess she got herself into. Oink oink. I'm sure my mother-in-law would have loved if she could have come up with some kind of genius plan to turn things around and extricate herself from the enormous hole she dug herself into. But sadly for her, she was already far too deep. Just as promised, me and Henry went next door when he got back from work and formally announced her eviction from the house and from our lives. Naturally, Dana being Dana, she tried desperately to save her skin with excuse after excuse, but our patience with her was already beyond its limits, and her pleading fell on deaf ears. Henry had all the proof of her abuse he needed in the chat logs, so she was wasting her breath. If anything, her shameless begging combined with her complete inability to admit any wrongdoing just made him even angrier, and he gave her marching orders, demanding she take all her things and be out of the house within a week. That said, she is an old woman, and we would have felt a tiny bit guilty making her homeless, so we decided to call Henry's aunt and asked if she'd take her in after explaining the circumstances that led us to a drastic decision. Henry's aunt, having grown up with Dana, knew just how difficult she could be, and being just as disgusted by we were by her behavior, agreed to take her in, but promised not to make her life easy. Last I heard, she's on a strict regimen of daily household chores. I tolerated her bullying for so long because I wanted a drama-free family life. But now I know I made the wrong decision. She doubled down on the abuse when she realized I wouldn't defend myself, which ultimately led to my daughter getting dragged into the whole mess and being hurt as a result. Lesson learned: never placate a bully. From now on, if I feel like someone's treating me unfairly, I'm just gonna tell them. I've learned that the more uncomfortable something makes you, the more important it is to be honest about it, no matter how difficult that discussion is. It's only on top of that foundation of openness that you can find true happiness.